entitled Debugging Formulas. We're in Workbook Tips and Tricks, and we're on Worksheet tab Debug Formulas. There's a great little trick you can do in Excel to help you debug a formula. Here I have D14 selected, and we can see up above in the formula bar the actual formula. This can be a little complicated if you were trying to debug it and try to figure out what all these values are, so you can figure out why perhaps you're not getting the value that you would expect to get when the formula runs. Well, what we can do is simply select a portion of the formula and find out what its current calculation would be. We can actually force it to calculate. So what I'm going to do is just select this one little section, average, and then we have several cell references over here inside the parentheses. Well, with that selected, I can just hit F9 on my keyboard. And I can see that the average of those cell references is 162.5. Now, this is kind of important. I have to hit Control Z, or I can hit my undo arrow in the top left, or otherwise the formula will be permanently changed to no longer be cell references, but actually just that value. So Control Z on my keyboard to undo that. Let's look at something else. How about this absolute reference times this other absolute reference? So I just highlight those and do F9 on my keyboard, and I get its value right there. So 3715,714 dot and a bunch of numbers. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. Now let's take a look at a different formula. Now I just want to make a point here. My cursor is currently inside of this formula. So I can't just simply click on another address. It'll actually insert that address right there. So I need to get out of this formula, and a safe way to do that is to hit Enter on your keyboard to accept that formula the way it is. It moved my cursor down, my cell selection down one. Now I'm going to come over here, over on the O column, and select this O6. And we're going to take a look at this formula. It's considerably bigger. It's also interesting because it has some of these logical operations in it, like less than, equal to, and things like that. Like, for instance, here's one that says 08 greater than 615. So I could just highlight that, 08 greater than 615. I hit F9 on my keyboard and I see that is false. It is not currently greater than. So Control Z to undo it. And let's take a look at another one over here. Here's 03 less than equal to 24. Hit F9 on my keyboard and say that one is true. And then Control Z to undo. So a great way to really kind of see what's happening piece by piece inside of your formula by using the F9 key.